Hey, what's up? I'm back. This is Larry with the Best Credit Repair channel. Today, we're going to talk about how to apply for credit line increases. Some of the things you need to know before you apply for a credit line increase. We're going to do this. You know the deal right after this intro. You back. So let's go. So, should you request a credit line increase and things you should know when requesting a credit line increase? We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about and some of the stuff you can apply when just applying for a credit card. Some of it is really kind of common sense, right? Things you should do. So I'm telling you, I've done this. Listen, I have a stack of credit cards. Uh, I have Navy Federal cards. I have all but one. Probably try to pick that up maybe in the next 6 to 8 months. So I'm telling you this because these are things that you definitely should know, things that you should practice, and things that will help you continually get credit line increases. Little shortcuts and things that people don't talk about that you should be doing, right? So number one, first thing, build a relationship with your bank. If it's a credit union, if it's a bank, build relationships with those banks, right? So most banks, a lot of people, once you build relationships and they see how you maintain an account, like a lot of people talk about Navy Federal, how they have their internal score and how that internal score could affect you getting approved for a credit card. Banks have all kind of systems within themselves to see if you're somebody that they're going to give a line of credit to, a credit card to, how much they're going to give. Build relationships with your bank. Like walk into a bank. I know there's other credit cards like Discover, Chase, American Express, and tons of others out there, right? Uh, but definitely when you're trying with a bank, that should be the first place you're trying to establish and build a relationship with your bank. That is the start of building a foundation to go out and get all these other credit cards. Build a relationship with your bank. You know, uh, if you know somebody in the military that could sponsor you into a Navy Federal account, ask, hey, could you sponsor me into a Navy Federal account? Great company. There's other great credit unions out there, right? There are other good banks, but build that relationship. When asking for a credit line increase, some people are so fast to try to ask for these credit line increases, right? You got a credit card, you only been with the credit card for 3 months, and you're already asking for a credit line increase. You know, establish some time and payment history. What I always tell people, a great way is to pay that bill payment every month a couple days before your statement date, right? Why do we say this, right? Why do people say this? First of all, it eliminates you from paying interest. So just think of this. You have a $600 credit card 12 months out the year, and say that you use $600 of that credit card every single month, and you paid that $600 off 2 days before your statement date. You just borrowed $7,200 and you never paid interest on that $7,200. You paid back exactly what you borrowed from that credit card or you spent on that credit card every month. So people get into the process of paying your cards before the statement date. If you can't get that all the way back to a zero, get as close as you can to zero and then pay that card off. For one, people will say, hey, uh, you don't want to pay your credit card to zero. It's going to affect your score. And there's some algorithms out there. Some of these words be throwing me off. But they say, yeah, keep a small balance on it. But it's not enough that's gonna that's gonna hurt you, right? Me, because some credit cards, credit bureaus or credit reports, or however you want to put it, if you have a bunch of balances, it may say you have too many balances on multiple cards. So just be careful on that, right? But remember, pay that every 2 days before the statement date, pay that card off, right? Once the statement produces, they send out a bill to you saying that you owe zero. You can do that every single month. If it was $1,000, you just borrowed $12,000 and never paid interest if you paid it off every single month. Just think about that. You borrowed $1,000 or you used that card and spent $1,000 every month, and you didn't, and you paid it off 2 days before the statement date, and you never was charged interest. You borrowed $12,000 throughout the year and never paid interest on that $12,000. That's the power, right? And that's how you leverage, right? And that's how you can use your credit cards to leverage. That's money back into your pocket. Because if you use that card and you use $1,000, you pay $50, $950, you're gonna pay the interest. Most cards gonna charge anywhere from 18 to 20, could be up to 29% interest, right? Most of them is 18 to 24, and you're gonna pay that on that card every single month, right? Then calculate how much you'll be paying out every month, right? The other thing, when you're trying to get a credit line increase, the other mistake people is they try to get one where they have a high balance already on the card. Don't ask for credit line increases. You have $1,000 credit limit. Your balance is 900, and now you're asking for a credit line increase, right? To the creditor, it looks like that you're maybe in a financial situation because you're having a hard time paying your credit cards down, and you're asking for more money. So they don't want to. You're already at 90% of your utilization. Just hypothetically, they move you to 1,500. The next thing you know, your utilization is you increase your credit limit to $1,400. So before asking for credit line increases, reduce your balance on your cards. It looks like you can handle these credit. You can handle this $1,000 credit limit. You're keeping your balances low. You're paying it every month, right? So now you'll be able. They don't have a problem giving you that 1,500 or that 2,000 or $3,000 credit line increase or credit limit increase, however you want to put it, right? Because you're maintaining your cards, right? So that's the other thing you want to do. Something else you want to do, just say for married couples or couples that have a joint account together. When you apply for an account and all the bills are coming out of that account, right? Use both of y'all incomes when it asks you for your income. So if you make 75, your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife is making 75, and asks you what's your income, I'll put 150 because all our money goes into one account, and that one account pays all the bills, right? So instead of just using your income, if you're married, girlfriend, fiance, and y'all got money going into the same account, you use both of that income. So think of this. You got a relationship with a bank. All your money is going into that one checking account. The bank sees how much money every month is going into that account. That's $15,000 going into that account every month. And you combine both of your incomes, you will get a higher credit line on that card. Use both. People don't talk about this. Use both of that income. They always tell you if there's anything that's helping you pay your bills, child support, alimony, any of that, well, that money's going into my account, helping me pay my bills. So you add that to when you're trying to get that credit line increase. You add it, right? Now, if you have two separate accounts, it may be a little different because now it's a separate account, and that account is only maintaining that money, your money and his money. But if you have a joint account, all the money's going into that account. That means that all that money and that power is going out helping paying bills. So add both of y'all income on there. The next thing is uh, when you're trying to get these credit line increases, you need to be asking what is the max amount that they're allowing on these cards. Sometimes people are getting denied credit line increases because they already got a $3,000 credit card, for example. They're asking for a credit line increase, and the highest limit they're going to put on that card is $3,000. So you're going to get denied. So make sure you ask what is the max credit limit that could be on this card before you apply for a credit line increase on that card. It may be telling you don't ask for a credit line increase on that card, either pick another card or apply for another card. So know what your what the max amount of credit can be placed on that card. The next thing, you want to ask, is it going to be a soft pull? Is it a hard pull? What credit bureaus do you pull from? Do you pull from all three? You need to start doing your homework before you request a credit line increase. Look at those, look at all that. If your TransUnion score is the highest and they pull from TransUnion, you got more of a likelihood of getting approved. If your Equifax is the lowest they pull from Equifax, you may be like, maybe I don't want to apply for that card. Let me find another card to apply for that pull from the credit bureau that has the highest score. Listen, people, TransUnion, the reason TransUnion typically scores at the highest is because they use your personal information and job as a part of their scoring algorithm. So look at it. That's why you typically see TransUnion score higher than Equifax and Experian. This because the personal information is calculated into the score, right? So just know that you heard that here on this channel. And if you notice, most people say my TransUnion score is higher than my other two scores. My TransUnion score is higher than my other two scores, right? So it's just how each bureau calculates information. And TransUnion is the only bureau that calculates your personal information as a part of the scoring tab. Another thing, what kind of tier card are you applying for? Are you applying for these subprime cards, right? Are you applying for a mid-level card like Discover? Are you applying for a high, a upper tier card like a Chase Sapphire, American Express, Platinum, Navy Federal Platinum, a cash reward, some of these upper level cards, right? So make sure you understand what kind of card that you are trying to apply for, right? For one, and then on those cards, make sure you understand what is the max credit limit that can go on those cards before you request a credit line increase. Listen, as you build these cards, like I have all these cards, right? All these cards, right? And I am telling you, with all these cards right here, I don't have key balances on all those cards. It's ridiculous. It's going to shout your credit report, and it's hard to manage. Like every now and then, I'll pull out a card, I'll use it, go get some gas, buy some groceries, do something, buy something for my car, whatever, and then I pay it off. Throw it back in the stack, throw it back in the safe, right? So you don't, just because you have cards, a lot of people make mistakes. They feel like they got to have all these balances on all these cards. It's false. It's false. Take care of your credit. Make sure you keep your utilization down low. Make sure, utilization 30% of your score. Payment history is 35% of your score. That's 65% of your score. That's 2/3 of your score. And when you're dealing with these credit cards, that's why you cannot be making late payments. If you wanting people to have a busy life, you got a lot going on, kids, jobs, all kind of stuff, at least put them on an automatic payment to come out. And if you want to make an additional payment, make that additional payment. You can set up when that card gets paid. Set it up 2 days before the payment date. You can set it up where it pays the whole balance, or it pays 50% of the balance, or whatever you want to put on there. Make sure you're doing on it. You can't afford to get one late payment. It will derail your credit report for 7 years. Now, I'm not saying you can't overcome it. One late payment ain't gonna kill you, especially if you have a ton of good credit. But it's still an indication that you're not taking care of your excuse me, your credit. So many people out here want this 800. Listen, you're gonna get the same rate with a 750 as you do with an 800. I don't know why so many people. I don't know if it's just something they want to have, what it is, but you don't have to have an 800 credit score. It is all about your profile. When anybody looks at your credit report, they're looking at what are you trying to buy. If you're trying to buy a car, they want to look at what is your car credit, what is your FICO score for car credit, right? It's not all about your score. Your score does play a part, but it's all about that score. If you had a repossession, you could have a good credit score and a charge off repossession on your credit FICO score is going to be jacked, right? Same thing with credit cards. You got to look at your credit profile, right? That is what's going to get you where you at. I am telling you, you don't have to have a 750 to get a lot of these cards that people are getting. It is their profile and how they handle in the relationships they have with these banks, right? So understand that. Don't get consumed. Don't let nobody make you feel like you have to have this super high credit card. It is what's on your credit report. You have collections, get the collections off. If you can't get them disputed off, quit wasting time with them. Like me, you can check out my master dispute package. I have what they call a restrictive endorsement strategy. They help you settle. So, example, you have $1,000 collection. You can use that restrictive endorsement, send them $300, create a contract, get them, and jokers are gonna cash that check, and you off the hook, and you can get it off your credit report, right? It's all about strategies, right? Done it all the time. So many clients. And if people, while they can leave you a message, say, I've used that strategy and it's worked, right? Well, you set the limits, you set the criteria, right? You set the standard. You put the money in their face and say, the only way you can take this money is to agree to my terms and conditions. That's the only way. If you don't accept the terms and conditions, yeah, you can't get that money. And it's all in their face. You got it laid out in their face. You can't get it because if you don't accept, then you need to send that check back to me. So I'm telling you, there is always strategies. Quit allowing bad credit to sit on your credit report for months and months. If you know that listen, this is the thing, and I need to do a video on this, on collection. Maybe that'd be my next video on steps. Listen, step 1, you got a collection account, you disputed it. It says it's verified. Step 2, you're going to do a method of verification. They got 15 days to get back to you. They don't get back to you in 15 days. You could do 2 things. You can say, I don't have to. They already violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I'm going to go sue. Go down to the courthouse. Probably cost you $40 to $50 a set. Take them to court. Hey, I sent you a dispute. You came back verified. I did a method of verification and I requested all documents through a 609, and I provided through section 610 my driver's license and social security card that is required for you to give me my files out, give me all the information out of my files, and you failed to do that. So I'm going to sue you, right? So if you don't want to go through that step, then the next step is, hey, how do I settle? I didn't send a validation to him. I disputed it. I did everything I can. I can't get it off. What's next? Man, if you don't want to fight, listen, y'all won, but y'all ain't gonna win all the way. I got $1,000. I'm gonna send you 300. Most time them jokers are gonna take it because they greedy and they ain't even reading what's in the letter. All they see is a check, and now you off the hook because they just agreed to your terms and conditions. And they already signed it. They signed their signature on there saying that they agreed to your terms and conditions. They definitely don't want to go to court with that information because they're going to lose all day, every day. And I ain't a lawyer, and I don't have to be a lawyer, but I ain't a lawyer. But if I walk in the court and I got a signed contract with somebody with their name on it, I don't know a judge is going to say that contract ain't no good, right? So don't waste your time with this negative stuff on your credit report. You can never get to this level. You can never get those type of cards if you battling, and you're losing a battle that you cannot win. They're not gonna allow you to win. You need to move your credit report forward. You know, in this channel, I keep it real with you. There's too many people, man, fight. They just steady on this fight, and they've been dealing with it 12 months, still fighting the same fight. Ain't took nobody to court, just steady fighting the same fight, paying all these different people to fight the same fight they losing, and they losing that same fight. When you could have took that money and could have settled that account, got that collection off your credit report and moved forward. Listen, I mean, I have a credit repair business, but I'm going to keep it real with you. Listen, you paying all these people, all these different people to fight the same fight you losing, right? If you're gonna find somebody that's gonna tell it to you like it is, and tell you if this don't happen, this was gonna happen. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. It don't take but one person to do that. I keep it real with my clients, and sometimes I keep, they probably like, man, you got bad customer service, but I'm just keeping it real with them. Like I don't wanna sugarcoat nothing to you. I'm gonna tell you just like it is, because somebody's got to tell you the truth. Somebody has got to be honest with you on this stuff, and not just telling you stuff is going to come off your credit report because you just did this. And if you do this, it's automatically. There are steps you got to take, and those steps you have to take, and you have to believe in those steps. You got to have faith in the steps, and you got to follow those steps. If you do, you'll be successful. I've learned. Listen, I've had bankruptcy, I've had collections, I've had charge-offs, and they all gone because I didn't waste my time with all that extra stuff. I ain't got time for all that. Time is money, and I don't have time to be. Look, if I lose that fight, it's just one I lose. I can't win in this life. You're not gonna win every time. You're gonna take some L's, but them L's are learning experiences, so you don't have to never take another L like that again. But don't be continually taking these L's, right? Don't continue. Get with somebody. I don't care who. It ain't got to be me. Get with somebody going to be honest with you about your stuff and tell you what you need to do so you can move your stuff forward. Keep it real, man. And quit allowing these people to just tell you stuff and you don't get the results that you expected, right? So, and then I was too. And I tell my clients, listen, I can't guarantee this is going to happen, because some of this is out of my control. I could do everything, but I can tell you what you should do because this stuff ain't reporting accurate, and this is what you need to do. I can't do that for you. You're going to have to do that, right? But I'm going to set the platform. I'm going to give you the information you need for you to take it to the next level, because we're going to follow the rules. We're going to the regulations, and I'm going to point them out to you. You ain't got to go to 5 different people to tell you stuff because you've been dealing with all these different people for the last year. I got people say, man, I've been working on my credit for over a year, and then I pull that credit. I'm like, man, you should have been way further along this. Yeah, I've been working with this person. This person only got one thing off my credit report, and I've been paying this joker for 6 months. I'm like, whoa, no, that shouldn't be happening like that. At least they should be honest to tell you what's going to happen, what you need to do. Some of that stuff, listen, rule number 1, if it's reporting accurate, you're going to have a hard time getting it off. If it's reporting accurate, you're going to have a hard time getting it off. If it's reporting inaccurate, you got a battle on your hand. I'm not saying you can't, but if it's reporting inaccurate, you got to follow the process. You got to shoot your dispute letter. Listen, rule number 2, quit doing these third party when you want to get to the point you want to sue, and you get in that point where you maybe you did your disputes from a third party, but you get to the point like this stuff ain't getting fixed. Now at some point you got to say, let me go to TransUnion and see what TransUnion is actually seeing. And am I actually disputing stuff that's inaccurate, or is this third party just ain't even download the information right? You have to do all that information, right? When you're starting to get to the point where you're trying to be really detailed about date of last payment, right? Date open, right? Now, if it's a collection account, you just know you just concerned about it's a collection account. How much do I owe? Does it have this? You need to make sure that stuff is reporting right and accurate. That that's the main thing, right? So, but anyway, y'all know the deal on this channel. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So, but I do have a master dispute package. If you and listen, everybody that's bought that, I haven't had any complaints that I've known, or nobody complained to me about it. Details, a lot of information in there. It's a lot of learning information in there for you, right? Reach out to me, I get it to you. It's $70. I keep it real with you for the package. Got a lot of information. Anybody bought it will tell you, and I'm always putting updated information in there. So you definitely just check it out. And then even when you buy it, I still talk to y'all. I still talk to those people that bought that package, that have questions, that email me, and I give them advice and help them out. Just because you don't just buy something from me and I leave you astray. Like you have my phone number, you have my email address, and there's people that email me all the time asking me for help and all that. So I'm keeping it real with y'all. I'm telling you what you need to do. Get these credit line increases, clean up the stuff so you can get these credit cards. You can leverage this credit so you can go out and make some good investments, work on your business, build a business, have capital to do certain things, right? And get your business started so you can go out and get business loan because your credit is good on your personal side, and get that money so you can grow your business, grow your wealth. I'm telling you, this credit is going to keep you in poverty, man. If you don't take it serious. Quit fighting the fight that you're losing. You lost to the same team 10 times. It's about time you change up a strategy. That strategy ain't working. So it's time to change up a strategy. So anyway, that was my preaching time for y'all. But you know, we gotta. I'm telling you, we gotta keep it real. But anyway, if you have any questions about credit line increases or credit, about anything about your credit, and now I'm said I was gonna start doing some stuff on building credit, and I'm gonna start talking about investing, because man, there's a lot of great entry points to buy, a lot of great stocks, and I need to start getting that information out to y'all, because Larry investing. Larry is seriously working on building my wealth in different areas, right? I am on a mission. 2022, man, it's going to be a big year. 2023, it's going to be bigger, and y'all going to see the changes. Y'all going to see the changes. But anyway, hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging out. If you got any questions, you can email me. The email is in the description. If you want to learn more about that master dispute package, shoot me an email. I'll get it over to you. I finally got my man Eric to help me out on my website, so we're going to be getting that up. So if you want it, people won't even have to email me. They can go straight on there and download it. I know I've been procrastinating about this, but man, so much going on. So many things I'm trying to make happen, and it's just not enough time in the day. So, but I appreciate y'all. Keep hanging out. Stay strong. Hey, get on that credit. Don't keep taking L's on these credit reports. Get with people. It don't have to be. Get with people that's going to be real with you and help you, tell you how to move your step forward. It may cost you some money. It may cost you to settle some people. But be honestly, it's moving your stuff so you can move your stuff forward. Quit being mad angry at them folks. Don't quit getting angry, because they ain't hurt nobody but yourself. But it's the word of the day. And I'm out.